Shankarshan, tell us about guys from the Lug whom we knew in those years.
Well, look at it this way. We have people out at Calcutta like Jindal Das Gupta who kind of, in a single-minded spirit, got the Lug going and kept it running for a while. Indranil is now doing Koha, open source.
All over India.
He's pretty much, I would say, Mr. Koha at this point in time. He's a go-to person for every kind of.
Really?
He has his own small startup. I wouldn't say small, given the impact he has. L2C2 technologies, he does a good thing. Shaimindu, who we all were amazed at his brilliance.
The 16-year-old guy.
Yeah, the young kid.
Yeah.
Who people couldn't believe he was that young.
Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting because at any place where three of us would be, people would think we were younger than him, or they would think he was as old as us. So it was.
I see.
People never could figure out what the hell was going on. So Shaimindu is now a professor. I forget where specifically, so I don't really want to say. I mean,
in the US. In the
US. His LinkedIn obviously has the details.
Okay.
But he did.
Shaimindu Das Gupta.
He did his stuff at MIT on the Scratch programming language. And
Scratch was this programming for children?
Yes. It's essentially about how you teach everybody to learn. Papert had that theory which was then expounded. There's quite a few number of people, like for example Kishore Bhargav out of Lug Delhi is still doing his thing, even though I think he's now also finding joys in doing birding and all other retreat stuff. Yeah, I mean, who else?
Atul Chitnis passed away, which was sad.
That's unfortunate, man. I think all of us gasped at eventually. I mean, we knew it was going to happen given how the pain he was going through.
But he was so optimistic. He thought he would kick it, and
I mean,
and it was he single-handedly who did the organizing bit of bringing us all together.
I mean, we had each one of us has butted heads with him because we didn't kind of probably like some of his opinions, sometimes some of his methods. But let's put it this way: if FOSS.in was not happening in India, a whole generation of free and open source software hackers would not have come about. I mean, would have come about, but
in smaller number and slower and much reduced.
I think of FOSS.in as a catalyst. Without a catalyst, a chemical reaction doesn't happen. A chemical reaction will happen. Catalyst just speeds things up and makes certain things happen. So I think that was a great thing to do. I mean, I think.
Where are these other guys? There was Karnakar is
there, and he works out of. I think he works at Amdocs now at Pune. Amdocs. I believe Amdocs it is. I'm not terribly sure because I have this bad habit of not remembering where people work.
The KD developer from Australia, Sartaj Singh.
Sartaj is still around. I haven't, given that I was more of a GNOME guy than KD. See, the war is coming out.
Yeah.
And but Pradipto is a dear friend, so Pradipto is been doing a whole bunch of KD.
Pradipto
Bhattacharya. He was from Panvel. I mean, he always made it a point to say I'm from Panvel.
From where? Panvel, next to Bombay, Mumbai.
He never said I'm Mumbai.
Okay,
He's very proud of his Panvel location. So he is doing a whole bunch of stuff around Kubernetes and things. So he was at Red Hat. I think he's still at Red Hat. So that's Karunaka. There's Ramakrishna Reddy. Ramki is at Red Hat, I think, helping a whole bunch of software go on the public cloud.
Venki was at Red Hat that time.
Venki is. I happen to interact with Venki Hariharan like pretty much once a week, every week.
Really?
Yeah, for various reasons. And
he's with?
He's the director of public policy at FOSS United at this point.
I see.
Among other things.
FOSS United is?
FOSS United is a forum that has come about, I think it's a registered body obviously, that intends to sort of rekindle the spark of making and creating and kind of building things, free and open source software. But every time I say free and open source software, my mind goes like, well, tell the other way that actually is possible if people are doing it. Because how many non-free and open source software companies do you see at this point in time around us, in enterprise and otherwise? That's a massive shift, isn't it, Fred? That there was a point in time when we were
the minority
at windmills. And now we were like
we were the Sancho Panzas.
There's no other way of doing things. So I think there's a whole bunch. One of the.
What about this Ajunta developer from Manipur?
Yeah, I know who you are speaking about. I think he's based out of Finland still.
Finland?
Yeah.
Anjunta. He named his software after his girlfriend.
Nobu Kumar.
Yeah.
So I think he's based out.
Then you remember a Debian developer who was also a Hindu priest in USA? Jaldar.
Jaldar Vyas.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Jaldar's Debian contributions have reduced a bit. In fact, funny enough, so Karthik Mistry, who is a dear friend going back to the Gujarati localization days, the Indian localization days. So I was speaking about Karthik because Karthik is a DD.
DD meaning?
Debian developer.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of DDs in India at this point.
Really?
Yeah. That's quite. The Debian is a very flourishing community
I
of
see.
maintainers and
I see.
DDs. And he was saying that Jaldhar is doing a little less of what he was doing, but he's still around. The person who I also like is Praveen Rimbathuri. Sorry, I can't really pronounce his last name. Praveen from Satantra Malayalam, the Malayalam community. He's one of the DDs at this point in time. Yeah, he does the very thankless job of packaging Rust and Node libraries, things that change. Ruby gems and Node libraries, things that change frequently, and he does a whole bunch of builds. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of.
There were these localization guys, no? One of the guys who I think he was Malu, who was working out of BSD and all that. You remember that this guy, we had a big localization conference once at his organization, which in those days was one of these corporations which had an office in Bangalore. I forget the name. Something with K.
I don't remember, but if you're talking about Abbas and of Deeproot Linux, Abbas is still doing his.
Abbas, I know. I meet Abbas regularly. Deeproot.
Yeah.
Open?
He's doing a whole bunch of open hardware stuff as well.
Open hardware.
Yeah. So hats off to him. There's a very strong Malayalam localization community under Swatantra Malayalam Computing.
I was surprised about IT at schools, which is now called something else, but they've been pushing.
Yeah. They have. I mean, the thing is,
the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
No, I think people who were doing stuff earlier, they are continuing to chip away at the problems and making progress, slow as it might be sometimes. It's just that around us, the ecosystem, if you may call it, has changed so rapidly that everybody is now like, you have new people coming in. I met a whole bunch of people here at this conference, talking to them about the history of Indian localization and language localization, Linux desktop and all of that. They are like, we don't know anything about it. I mean, there is no written record of it.
We need a book, and you will write one chapter for it.
Yeah, and I mean, there are many ways to do it. We could actually figure out a way to catch hold of people and record their thing and then publish it or write it.
Audio, whatever.
Whatever was. But in 2023, if I have somebody at a conference saying nothing has happened, then short of my blood boiling, nothing I can do.
You know, there was this guy called Doc Partha. So Doc Partha, a few months back, 2 or 3 months back, said, he sent mails to everyone saying, do you know where Thats is? Thats Sudhakar Chandrasekharan. Yeah. He sent it to me also. So I said, man, and it came through.
That's it at Google, right?
That's it was at Google. I think he shifted or I don't know what. But Doc Partha is still active. He's touching 80 or 70.
Wow. That I would not know.
And he remembered Linux in a teaspoon. I remembered Linux in a teaspoon, LOST.
The other day I was looking at that, thinking about, the...
Not LOST, I'm confusing, sorry.
The tech user group, the TUG.
TUG.
Because for
CVR, CV Ramachandran.
For some reason I was telling people about how to use LaTeX tools on Mac. And they're like, do you ever know about that thing called TUG? And we're like, what is TUG? Like, man.
You know something? I have grown into probably being one of the only publishers in the world, maybe the only one, who uses Lix for commercial operations.
Really?
Yeah. And we published about 160 books that way. Titles.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So no one uses it, and these people are amazed that I use it. I'm too non-tech to use tech. But I can use LaTeX. Lix.
Amazing.
We can do a series of interviews online.
Yeah, I think that might actually work out. We will draw a framework of basic questions and
draw a list of people.
And then let people just have at it.
It's 20 years that have passed.
Yeah.
22 actually. We should have done it 2 years back. But still, better late than never. Thanks a ton, Sankarshan. Just your contacts?
I have already provided that. You can find me on social media as Sankarshan.
Sorry.
On social media as Sankarshan, the name
Yeah.
that you just saw.
Yeah.
And if you want to connect with me professionally on LinkedIn, it's the same thing. I have one of those envious thing of having my first name being available for taking.
Because it's so rare.
Yeah.
Sankarshan meaning?
It is meaning one who tills the soil.
Wow.
So,
Thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
telling the ideas of free software and
Thanks,
open
Frederick.
source.